Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. So recently, there's been a lot of talk about who the Lakers should trade for and who they should sign and let go in free agency this year. So in this video, I'm going to talk about who I think we should keep, let go, and sign. Yeah. So we have 8 players under contract at the moment, and that's including Anthony Davis signing a 2-year plus 1 extra year extension to his contract. I don't see him signing like a supermax or any of that jazz. So I see him signing a 2 plus 1 year deal. Also, we're also going to assume that Avery Bradley and JaVale McGee both opt into their contracts. So with that said, we got 8 players under contract on the roster right now. Those players are Alex Caruso, Avery Bradley, Danny Green, LeBron, AD, Kyle Kuzma, Taylor Horton-Tucker, and Quinn Cook, which leaves Rajon Rondo, KCP, Markieff Morris, Deion Waiters, J.R. Smith, and Jared Dudley as free agents. So let's start off with who we should trade. Now, the number one trade asset we have, and the number one person we should be trying to trade is Kyle Kuzma. None against Kuzma, he did okay in the playoffs, can't complain too much. But we had to trade him because he's going to be out of contract next year, and we asked him for a lot of money then. And if we're going to try and get a third star in the 2021 offseason, we won't be able to give Kyle Kuzma the money he's looking for. So I think we're going to trade him now to try and get something for him. And also, if we could try and trade Danny Green, he did a poor playoffs, but it's not even just that. It's $15 million contract, which is expiring at the end of this year, which means he'll have to go for nothing. So if we could try and get a trade for him, we would. And that leads on to our first trade, which involves both of them, for Indiana Pacers shooting guard Victor Oladipo. And in this, I think I'll get this done, is JaVale McGee, Kyle Kuzma, Danny Green, our 2020 first round pick, and Quinn Cook. Now we need the Pacers to let us off, that's not the best. They could ask for a bit more, like Alex Caruso or someone. But I think if we get a bit of luck, they'll accept this because Victor Oladipo is on his last year of his contract, and he's come back from an injury. So they might just that might be enough with Kyle Kuzma. They can build a franchise around him, and also you got experienced vets with Danny Green and JaVale McGee, and also a sharpshooter like Quinn Cook. Another trade we could do, and this trade I think we should only do if Rajon Rondo leaves us in free agency, and that is for Derrick Rose from the Detroit Pistons. Now Kyle Kuzma, Quinn Cook, and the 2020 first round pick will get this done. It's a lot, I know, but I think we have to, there's been a lot of teams looking for him, so that would have to get it done if we want to forget D Rose. Now some people say D Rose, we shouldn't go for D Rose because him and LeBron didn't work in Cleveland, which is true, but it might, that might not mean it won't work in LA. I'm not going to hold that against him. He's a playmaker, he can get his own shot, he will be the third star if he joined us. But I just think only if Rondo goes should we go for him. Other than that, leave him in Detroit or go wherever else he wants to go. So yeah, they're the only trades I'd be doing. They're the main. I just want Victor Oladipo, man. If we get Victor Oladipo, our team would be Avery Bradley, Victor Oladipo in the shooting guard, LeBron, AD, and we'll get on to the center position next. So yeah, that's who I go for. But if we can't go for Victor Oladipo, and if D Rose goes, we should go for if Rondo goes for agency, we should go for D Rose. And if we have to keep Danny Green and Kyle Kuzma, not the end of the world. Danny Green was poor in the playoffs, but sure, it wasn't bad all season. He was alright. Yeah, he has height in the defensive end. But if we could get Victor Oladipo and get rid of those 2 players and JaVale for once, I'll explain why when you get rid of JaVale in a minute. It will be a good trade for us. Anyway, let's go on to our free agents who we should have to bring back. Markieff Morris, for sure, should bring back. He did very well in the playoffs. Pretty average a regular season when he joined, but he was only just joined. But the playoffs, especially in that Houston series, he ended up starting. He was clutch, hitting the three. Very good on the defensive end. Yeah, he had a bad game 5 at the playoff at the NBA Finals, but you can't hold that against him. He was unbelievable in the playoffs, and he definitely could shoot from the tree. He's what we need, and he can stretch the floor. So I definitely bring Markieff back, probably in a vet minimum. He said he'd run it back anyway, so I say you definitely go for Markieff Morris. Also Rajon Rondo. I know we spoke at Derrick Rose, and I wouldn't mind D Rose. If Rondo goes, Derrick Rose is definitely the best option to replace him. But if we can keep Rondo, let's keep him. He was our 3rd star in the NBA playoffs, and that's including that he missed the whole Portland series. He was clutch in that playoffs. Our floor general, the stats don't show it, but if you watched that playoffs, you knew he was our 3rd star. That layup, that score behind the backboard was against the Denver Nuggets, unbelievable. So if you keep Rondo, right, okay, 2-year, $10 million contract or whatever, something like around those lines, go for it. He was unbelievable. Another player I bring back would be Dwight Howard. He was unbelievable in the playoffs again and the regular season. Great energy on and off the bench. He accepted his role this year and he was unbelievable, you know. And he's happy to be on the bench and ended up starting in the Western Conference and the NBA Finals. So, well done to Dwight, you know. I'd definitely keep him. He'd be my starter. And with that, my dream starting team next year would be Avery Bradley, Victor Oladipo, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard would be our starting centre. He was magnificent in the playoffs. Cleaning the glass. He kept Joker quiet, you know, you don't believe it, and Bam. So fair play to Dwight, you know, unbelievable performance in the playoffs and regular season. So keep Dwight, like 4 million deal or something, I don't know, 2 years, 1 deal, whatever you want to do. Just keep him anyway. Now, we won't be able to keep everyone. And KCP, he did very well in the playoffs. You know, he was well to hit the tree. He was doing well for us, but I don't think we can afford him, you know. I think other teams are going to pay him more. So I think KCP, you know, he's got his ring. He played very well. He's a starter in the finals, but I think he'll just go for the money now. He's got his ring. Wants more game time probably because he won't be starting even if he stayed. So I'd say KCP will go somewhere else. Atlanta Hawks are rumored to be in for him and Trae Young. But KCP, if he goes, yeah, very well, sir. You know, leave your head held high. Also, I bring back Jared Dudley. He was a big part of the locker room. You know, that separates us from the Clippers. You know, they had locker room problems, but Dudley, he kept their locker room together. So I, run it back with him again. Give him another vet minimum deal. Yeah, keep him happy. Another person I'm bringing in as a free agent is Boogie Cousins, man. He was with us last year, didn't get to play with his injury, but he will be our replacement for JaVale McGee. That's why I'm happy to let JaVale go in that Oladipo trade. Boogie Cousins can be our backup center. You know, you give him our big three. You know, if he gets back to full fitness, bro, it would be scary from the center position. So Boogie Cousins, I'm bringing him back on a veteran minimum deal. Let's see what he can do. And also, with our mid-level exception, we got two options here. We got Marcus Morris and Danilo Gallinari. Now, it's 50-50 really. Some people want Morris, some people want Gallo. I'm happy about, more than happy about. But I think Marcus Morris would fit him better. You know, first of all, he knows the Clippers. You know, he can come in here and start ratting at those Clippers people. He knows all their game plans. And him and Markeith, you know, they're you know, twin bros, so they'd be tight. You know, it'd be great to see. He'd be willing to come anyway with Markeith. I just think, you know, he offers more on the defensive end than Gallo. That's the only thing separating him at this stage. You know, if Gallo comes, he'll bring lots of scoring, but Morris can bring scoring as well. So happy about. I'm only picking Marcus Morris for the defense over Gallinari because I know Coach Vogel likes his defense. But if it's Gallo, it's Gallo. I'm more than happy with that. And if it's Morris, it's Morris. Happy with that as well. So that's who I'm spending my mid-level exception on, like $9 million. So then our team by then should be, our starting team should be Avery Bradley, Victor Oladipo, LeBron, AD, and Dwight. With our second unit being Rondo, Alex Caruso, Marcus Morris or Gallo. I'm going to go for Morris. Markeith Morris. So Marcus Morris in the small forward, Markeith as the backup power forward, and Boogie as the backup center. And then we also have Talon, Dudley, which leaves 3 more spots. And I'm bringing back Deion Waiters, man. You know, before he got injured, he was playing well. So I'll bring back Deion Waiters on a vet minimum, see what he can do. I'm also bringing in Lance Stevenson as a replacement, some kind of replacement with KCP, just more depth as a wing player. You know, he knows Coach Vogel's system. He knows how to play for him and LeBron. He knows most of the Lakers actually from 18-19, so him and LeBron are cool now. So I'm bringing in Lance Stevenson on the vet minimum contract. You know, so that's Talon, Deion, Lance, Duds, and that leaves one more spot. You know, and you know what? I'm put for that one last spot. It's got to be J.R. Smith, man. You can't leave J.R. out of this team. You know, the Lakers wouldn't be the Lakers without J.R. You know, he got that title. No, seriously, man. Why not keep J.R.? Keep him around for locker room experience and all that jazz. If you don't want J.R. isn't for you, man, you can bring in there's plenty of other free agents out there you can just sign on the vet minimum. But I'm going over J.R. If someone else is out there, I'm all cool for that. That spot is really up for whoever you like. I'm just team J.R. But if you're team someone else, you're team someone else. Anyway, what do you think of that? I think that team can repeat for sure. And then 2021 we try and get that third star. Or if Victor Oladipo steps up, he can be the third star, who knows. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next one. I'm out of here.